that I would consider. I think he's a one of one, and
Sure.
I would refer to him. You've seen him go viral on X many times as of late, but he's got more in his bag than just going viral on X. I would consider him the premier D2C Twitter famous AI Chad among us. I am talking about the one and only Jacob Postal. Jacob, get in here. Get in here.
Let's go.
What's
Let's
up? What an intro.
Yeah, man, that was for you. I mean, it's not often that an Aussie king joins us, and so we had to give you a proper intro in getting you on here.
Thank you.
Jacob, you're a busy man. You've got agents running all over the place at all times. Sometimes you're powering them yourself with your bicycle. We've seen that. We've seen it happen in your office. Man, I would love if you would just tell us, though, Jacob, brother, what do you do officially? What are you doing? You're an international man of mystery.
Really is.
We would love you to just clear it up for us. What are you doing, Jacob?
I mean, most simply, I build AI agents and AI systems for businesses. And I guess it's broad enough that I get to kind of like sit on this little mysterious edge. But yeah, I build agents for businesses. I work with big businesses, very, very big businesses, and smaller ones too. But I love building AI systems, and that's what I get to do professionally, which is super cool.
It sounds like you're a bit of a free agent, a man who works in many places and spaces. Is that fair?
Yeah. I'm building something on the side, which might be a little bit, which is still coming. You know, that might be the main thing soon. But for now, yeah, I consult for many different businesses. Some is more just advice stuff, but a lot of it is actually building internal tools for them. And I guess I'm just taking advantage of the fact that software is becoming more efficient to build. So if I'm someone who's good at building software and I'm more efficient, why can't I just scale that for myself?
Yeah.
Wow.
I think that.
We had Cody on the show last week, Cody Schneider on the show last week, and he has, I think, 5 to 8 agents running every single morning. How many are you running? Because I imagine it's 20 to 25, and you just wake up and there's a symphony and you have 15 screens in front of you. You're on your bike and you just click go and they all start to populate and they say, Jacob, we have everything for you.
No, I don't know. I feel like anything above 4 or 5 agents is a little bit performative at this stage. I don't think people need too many more than that. I'll have to like make it really specific. If I'm working on multiple projects, then I will probably have an agent running simultaneously in each project. I won't work on more than 3 or 4 at a time. And sometimes I'll have 2 or 3 running parallel in a single project. So, but I can't personally, manage 10 agents at once. That's insane. Like, and I don't really believe the people who say they have these crazy things going. I don't think anyone's brain can really comprehend all of that. But I am building out this little personal operating system to help me manage like my work, my training, my diet, everything like that. And that might be where I start to see a little bit more scale, where the stakes aren't as high.
Jacob OS.
Yeah, Jarvis OS.
Yep. It's just called Personal OS right now.
Okay, all right. Okay.
We'll work on a rename. We'll workshop it.
Jacob, I have been getting breadcrumbs all over X, and if you can't talk about it, that's okay. That's okay. But I've been catching breadcrumbs about maybe something that you might be working on together with Shireen over at Growth Capital. I saw Chris Mickulin said, as of late, and I quote, the most impressive agency operating tech I've ever seen. I mean, is that something you can comment on? Because it sounds juicy. If it is, Jacob, I mean, it sounds juicy, nevertheless.
So yeah, so Shireen has started the best growth agency in the market right now, and because she started now, she had this really unique opportunity to build tech from the ground up, from day one, from her just operating as a consultant all the way up to scaling to where she is right now. And Shireen and I had been friends for a while, and she asked me if I would kind of join her along that ride. And so, yeah, I built a lot of the tech that she uses right now inside of the agency. It's amazing. Like it's really amazing tech, but a lot of the credit goes to Shireen. She's probably one of the best tech product minds in the D2C space, including any SaaS company CEO or product person that I've met.
Wow.
She's pretty amazing. And she probably could have had a very, very good career in software. So getting to work alongside her, it created a lot of clarity and means that we were able to build a really good system. But yeah, what she has internally is really, really cool.
Wow.
She's going to be on the show this week.
She is.
Maybe we'll be able to glean a little more from her. I mean, if it's that, maybe we'll be able to get a little more juice there. Go ahead, Colin.
I was just going to say, you've probably seen numerous businesses at this point, and I would bet a lot of the same problems are coming up. What would you recommend as a level one for an agent that all businesses should be running? Whether that's something super complicated or something relatively simple, but something that most businesses, hey, you guys should really be running this. This will help you so much better.
Yeah, I think a big problem with a lot of businesses is information and context gets lost. That it lives in some person's head. One person has a meeting, they know where something lives. And then there's like the bottleneck of them asking this person what had happened here, and they ask someone else, and they ask someone else. Just a basic agent that has access to all your call transcripts from all your meetings, has access to your Google Workspace or your Google Drive, and has access to your Slack, and just put that inside of Slack and let people ask questions. That's a major unlock and it removes a lot of the bottleneck of communication challenges in businesses with a lot of people in it.
Wow. That's huge.
That's like a kind of a boring answer that I think is probably the most helpful answer
100%.
Because I have seen this as of late where I was inside of a Slack. There was an agent that had context and you could ask questions from this and from that. And, I wasn't like so excited about it at first, but then the more I interacted with that thing, the more helpful it became, being able to reference, communiques from a long time ago, files, etc., transcripts, etc. It is incredibly helpul. That sounds like, from the jump, that sounds like something everybody should have.
Well, let me give you context why I think that's the right answer. There's definitely, in every business, you could build one of the cool, fancy, amazing tools that like the magic bullet that everyone wants, that's going to scale them into oblivion. That is at this point, you could probably do that theoretically for a lot of businesses and where the tech is, but in terms of actual practical implementation, most businesses aren't ready for that. So like I can say for any D2C business, they should have an infinite ads and media buying machine that's going to scale better than any human media buyer growth strategist they have, but they're just not ready for it, and it's just not going to work. And so, but how do you build your way to getting there? It's figuring out how do you manage context within your business, and how do you manage messy context in your business. And once you have that agent that can properly understand the context of a meeting that took place, because there's a lot of nuance and context that is required to truly understand a meeting, right? Like if I just gave a meeting transcript to some random person without understanding what I do and asked them to pull out the action items, they wouldn't actually be able to do that, because there's a lot of other context required. So by doing that, you train the muscle in your business of how do we manage context for this agent. But then, okay, you take a meeting. Well, what are the action items? You teach it how to do that. Okay, how is it going to do those action items? Well, it needs access to my Meta account, and it needs access to my email calendar, and it needs access to my Klaviyo, and so on. And you learn how to hook it up to all these touch points. And eventually you can then map out, okay, what does this bigger, broader, more powerful agent look like? But it all starts from that messy, subjective, kind of like unquantifiable context.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, Chris, you can go ahead.
I want to take this down the route, but the route of Jacob making me marketing gigabrain 4.0. But you say whatever you got first. If you're going a different direction.
Just touching on it super quickly, we covered Claude getting connected to Facebook earlier on in the show, and we featured one of your tweets as well as numerous others. I would love just your thoughts on that for, if you want to dive a little bit deeper into that, because I sit in kind of both camps where I see why Meta's doing it, but it's also so frustrating from an operator standpoint. Would love your thoughts on all of that.
From which perspective? From everyone getting banned? Is that the
connecting Claude code correctly and all of that?
Meta has this weird kind of trigger that gets hit randomly. I don't know why, or I can't say the specific reason, but it seems like so in Meta, you don't just like request an API key like you do in a traditional app. You have to go ahead and create an app. It can be internal or external. But there's some trigger that gets hit, something in their system triggers that just bans your account. They're just like, nope, bye, goodbye, bans your account. And that's happened to me, I think 3 or 4 times.
Horrible.
One of them, I think, was because I was like visiting my family in Australia. So it was like a weird geo thing that came out. Another one I submitted for review, and it was like, they were like, no, you've been rejected. And by the way, your account is banned. So
horrible.
Fortunately, I didn't have any business managers attached to those accounts, but it's just too risky for someone who runs their business on Meta to risk right now. So I mean, you can get around that though, like create another Facebook account, create it through that different Facebook account, and just invite yourself to the ads manager, business manager, but manage the app through the other one. So like it's very solvable to work around. But I would say in general, don't build any Meta integration using the same Facebook account that you run your business with.
Yeah, great advice.
Jacob, it gives me great pause about running OpenClaw and, testing every new tool that seems to come out every 48 hours. This new agent, there was another one over the weekend that I was looking at. Actually, there's 2 now that they propose themselves to be able to run your entire business via AI agents and stuff. All of this, especially with the meta bans, it just gives me great pause, and it makes me scared to connect too much, lest I transgress some tripwire. I mean, what advice would you give more non-technical, creative, inclined people inside of our space like myself? What would your advice be? Where to start, where to keep yourself enclosed inside of tools that aren't going to ruin your business, et cetera?
Well, I'll give the perspective that a developer uses when they build a new system. That a developer, when they build a new system, they don't hook everything up to the production account straight away. They create test accounts, right? They'll have and Meta supports this, they support testing. They'll build a Shopify test store. When you build a Shopify app, you can have a development store, right? So if you want to be very pedantic about it, just don't consider your main core business systems to be production, and create a development environment. And then you can give those dev credentials whenever you test a new thing, and then build enough confidence that you feel good about it. And then once you do, then you can switch over to production once you feel like things are working a little bit better. I say that, but I don't think anyone will actually do that in practice. People aren't going to, no one's doing that, So I would say take comfort in knowing that Meta is kind of a unique case. Like Shopify is not ever banning your account because you try to create an app. Meta is unique, so be aware of that. But I've never seen that happen with any other piece of software. In general, like in terms of security, my perspective on security is also be reasonable. Like OpenClaw, there was reason to be ambivalent about connecting everything all at once because they were an open source project. You didn't know who the creator was. And like just a little bit of searching using your favorite AI tool would have told you that, like be a little bit careful. But then after a week or two, they were acquired by OpenAI. OpenAI is not going to risk leaking out your data. things are gonna get shut down. So like use a little bit of common sense, but all people aren't out to get you. Like that's not really happening. So use a little bit of common sense, but for the most part, I think like err on the side of being more experimental than less. Don't not experiment on things because you're worried about these triggers or tripwires, because they're rare. Like the meta case is rare. I've never experienced that with any other system.
Interesting. So jumping off of that kind of experimentation in 2026, what should operators be experimenting with in 2026 in regards to technologies or new apps or new AI? I know you're probably super deep in Claude and Claude Code, but anything else that might not be as quote unquote mainstream that people you found as like, this is my little hidden gem. I love using it. Do you have anything like that?
I unfortunately don't have many of those hidden gems because I build a lot of the things that I use from scratch. So like I don't necessarily use the off the shelf skills.
Flex, huge flex.
Just a little flex on us there, Jacob. A little flex.
I mean, I would say OpenClaw is a really good thing to use right now, because OpenClaw is the way that you'll be interfacing with agents in the future.
Really?
Like this free form text-based chat.
I'm surprised.
Why are you surprised?
Well, it just seems so wild to me, especially when you add in the Moltbook layer on top. It just seems crazy. I mean, it seems like the last thing that I would get involved in.
Moltbook was a psyop. Moltbook was people pretending to be agents. Like Moltbook was not a real thing. That should be wiped from human memory. It was completely. It was honestly like a stain on a pretty good piece of technology. I think. Let me describe it this way, right? For a long time, AI agents were like N8N flows. They were nodes and graphs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
On the other end of the extreme is OpenClaw. It's the most flexible version of agent you can get. It's essentially just an LLM with access to an entire computer. Now, if you assume the technology is getting smarter, the LLMs are getting more intelligent, then naturally a more flexible architecture is the way that things are going, right? You don't want to limit it to one node in a complex system. You want to controlling the entire system. And LLMs are getting smarter, that things are getting better. And so we are going towards more flexible agents. That is inevitably happening. And that's why OpenClaw worked so well. So OpenClaw is the most flexible version of that. It is like, there are no guardrails, really, no limits. It's just LLM, do whatever you want on this little virtual computer we've created for you. But the agents that you are going to interact with are going to be versions of that. It's going to have a little bit more security, some more guardrails. It's not going to let you connect everything in the world, but it is going to be a flexible, intelligent agent like that feels more like an employee. So that's why I would say if you get comfortable with OpenClaw, then you'll be very comfortable at the agents that are coming and that are being built right now. And that's how you set yourself up for the future.
I find that very interesting. I find that to be fascinating. If you would, Jacob, give me some perspective on, because I know you've been at this for several years now, especially inside of ecom. I feel like you're one of the few kind of gigabrain AI chads that are pretty steeped in the ecom D2C space.
Yeah.
And give us
Uniquely
perspective.
so.
Uniquely so. And I hope many inside our space continue to drop very large bags into your apartment, delivered by drones, nonetheless. That being said, give us perspective on how fast and how far things have developed in 48 months or however long it's been since you've been inside of this. I think things are pretty different than when you first started, right?
Massively. So to give some perspective, while I was studying for my master's at an internship at 3PL tech, like a logistics tech company called Airhouse. I don't know if you guys remember Airhouse at all.
No.
Airhouse was a logistics tech company. Kind of fantastically went out of business one day, but that was after I left. But I built my first agent inside of Airhouse before before there was like a GPT API. There used to be these old text to SQL APIs that people would use. This is before Claude was a thing. This probably was like the day ChatGPT was released or something, right? So that was before anyone even knew what the word agent was.
Wow.
And then I went to go work at CTC. That's kind of where I came onto the scene. And I spoke to Taylor on the phone 2 or 3 days ago, and we were just reminiscing about how much things have changed since we were there, right? Like Taylor is a very ambitious person, and so am I. And we both had these big goals of where we wanted it to go, but the tech was limited then, right? So we could only do these individual things. We couldn't achieve these like big, massive goals that we wanted. And now we look back and we're like, holy shit, we could have done, like if we had just waited 6 months or 1 year, now we can do everything we wanted to achieve, right? It's all happening inside of CTC right now. They're doing it. They're starting to build it out right now. So, I mean, there was this shift from, okay, we are analyzing individual pieces of data with LLMs. Like, for example, at CTC, we were building creative strategy tools. So it was like, we're going to analyze a bunch of reviews with LLMs. And then we're going to have to take that one piece and we're going to analyze a lot of ad copy with LLMs, right? But it was very like modular. Like we're going to do this, and then we're going to do this, and then we're going to do this, and we're going to put it together. Now you can create an agent that you say, this is where my reviews are. This is my Meta account. Analyze my top 1,000 creatives using the Gemini API. Analyze all my reviews. Come up with personas. Build ad copy and create ads for me. You know, like that's all. You can do all that now, which is what we wanted to achieve. But it's been wild, kind of seeing that come to life and come to fruition. But the biggest learning for me has been just position yourself to build for where it's going to go, because you always have to be a little bit ahead of the curve. You got to be like riding the wave of where it's going to go. So always position yourself a little bit ahead, because it's getting so much better. And even in the past 4 or 5 months, it's taken another kind of acceleration upwards. And now these agents you can build are just exceptional.
Gosh. Yeah, I always feel like, though, there's this constant treadmill game that we're playing with AI, where Chris alluded to like a little bit over the weekend, where it's just, we feel like new agents are coming out and new workflows are coming out every single day. And you're trying to sift through, and I feel like you have a great filter for this, what is true and what you should kind of feel as noise. And I guess, I mean, this is a pretty convoluted question, but how are you thinking about this? Because there's so much net new coming from AI every single day coming to you. And you're almost like, well, at some point, it's so much that you're just kind of, you throw your hands up and it's like, well, I don't know anymore. I'm kind of, it's too much for me now. I'm done.
Yeah.
How are you thinking about it?
A reasonable mental framework is, unless a lab releases a new LLM, it's unlikely that a new tool comes out and now the AI's got this new skill, like this level up in intelligence and skill that it didn't have before, right? So like if LLMs could never build pixel perfect landing pages, and then someone comes out with a tool and they're like, our LLMs are building pixel perfect landing pages, it's like probably unlikely that that's actually happening, right?
Yeah, got it.
But if it's tying together, and that's like a behavior which wasn't possible before, and unless a big lab has recently released a new LLM, it's unlikely that this startup has discovered this brand new behavior. But if it's tying together workflows that haven't been tied together to complete work, then it is possible that is worth experimenting with and checking out, right? So like, if like a D2C example is, it is possible to forecast your inventory with an LLM. Like, I know that's true, and it's possible to probably create the purchase orders, submit them. It's probably possible to run most of your backend with a D2C store with AI, right? Because it's very good at data analysis. We know it's very good at data analysis, and it's been very good at data analysis for a long time. But no one has really tied that together into a clean product yet, right? But if some ERP company tomorrow came out and said, we will run your inventory, we'll manage your inventory using AI, and we have built this product that does that, that's probably true, because it didn't have to develop some emergent skill that no one was able to do before to make that happen. They just needed to do the plumbing to put the pieces together. But the core, like, intelligent part, which is, can it analyze a lot of data intelligently, is true, and it's done that. So that means that it's probably realistic.
Got it. That's a great framework to think about this stuff. I did not connect those two before. Thank you.
Jacob, cool. I want to know, what is the singularity? Are we in it? And I want to know, like, hey, are we all going to end up like medieval farmers living off of UBI, or are we going to be, lost amidst affluence? Like, what do you think's coming, bro?
Dude, I don't know. I feel like I'm living through the Renaissance right now, though. I'm a bullish person. I'm an optimistic person. I think I can't see how a world where we have more intelligence and more ambition leads to worse outcomes for humanity. Like, I can't forecast that reality. To me, technology and innovation has always led to more and better, and I just don't see how this one leads to less, right? I mean, in the short term, can there be pain? Yes, I definitely think so. I definitely think that there will be a wake-up call for a lot of people. I think there's been a bit of stagnation economically and technologically for a long time, and I think that's led people to be quite comfortable. And I think there needs to be a level up of the impact people have inside of businesses, but the opportunity to level up is so much greater, right? Like, the opportunity that people have right now to do more and to deliver more is greater than ever before. So I see businesses growing. I see people having more impact. I see greater efficiency. But I'm also not an economist, so I don't know. But I mean, with the number of podcasts that have been coming out recently, right? If that's any leading indicator for where the economy is going, I think we're heading in a good place.
Let's go.
Right. I'll take that. I'll take that as a good marker. Everyone knows, we don't need another D2C podcast, but we do need a show, big boy, which is why this thing exists. And we're glad to have you on here, man. We appreciate you coming and making the time and joining us, brother. And tell everybody where to find you, where to follow you, where to drop a big bag if they want to work with you. Tell us all what that looks like, because I think they need to be.
You can follow me at Jacob_Postal on X. And probably the best way to reach out is to DM me there. And if it's something we can work on together, then we can take it forward.
All right. That's great. Jacob, we appreciate you joining us, man. We look forward to having you back, brother.
Thank you. I appreciate it. It was great meeting you guys properly.
He is great.